We are back at it with Hold My Banner. Casey Hudson and Ante Campbell. And I tease the fact that there's another name kind of jumping around the market. This is going to be a funny one to break down, y'all, so stick around. Trae Young is disappointed the Hawks have not offered him a contract extension yet, per Mark Spears. And look, we've seen a lot of disappointment. Do not be surprised at this point if he plays it out and sees what happens next summer. Well, I feel like we kind of dropped this name in a casual, chill, hold my banner conversation.
Yeah.
And it's been a long week, so I got to do the memory game here for a second and say I feel like this was like almost a hard no. I feel like it was like I'll be okay without. I feel like this was one of those actually do not make this move. Am I making things up? Because like low caffeine, long weeks, they could do things to the brain.
You're not making this up.
Okay.
But what was made up was this AI picture of Trae Young.
Oh yeah, please do not fall for any more AI, y'all. Like, and then Celtics jerseys. Who in New England is doing this?
I don't know who's doing this, but Alex Zachary posted this one, a picture, in response to Trae Young being disappointed. And guess what? He had receipts. I guess Trae Young actually went and liked this photo, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, Trae Young,
beyond crazy.
He's got the eye emojis, like it's gonna actually happen. It's all fun and games. I want to talk to you about this because Trae Young being a Boston Celtics is a pipe dream.
Pipe dream.
Pipe dream.
Okay, so I really wasn't making things up.
And the reason that it's a pipe dream is because like we're in Boston right now, and in the sportscape, everyone's talking about Scary Terry and how he's going to be a New England Patriot, and Micah Parsons, how he's going to be a new.
We're just looking for some names. It's been a while since there's been those star-studded names just dropped on every single roster.
Well, guess what? You got Dustin May and Stephon Diggs. You better be happy about it, all right? Because that's what we got. Ain't no Connor McDavid coming to save the Bruins.
Might be a tough day to mention Dustin May.
I'm just saying, this is the reality that we live in. You know what I mean?
This is true.
So, and you got RJ Lewis, and Chris Boucher.
The Switner.
Here's the thing. Like, Trae Young could work here. He could. He could work here.
That's a lowercase could.
He could work here.
Okay.
But, people are grilling us in the comments about how bad Anthony Simons is on defense.
Yeah.
Trae Young might be Trae Young could not guard me in a phone booth today. No, forget me. Trae Young couldn't guard Casey in a phone booth today.
I was for real about to ask, what about me? I have a pretty decent wingspan for a 5'1" gal. Thank you. Come on now. I'm going all the way off the screen. I got so much arm left.
And it's not even that I don't think Trae Young could be a decent defender. He's not interested in it. And guess what?
Have teams tried to make him defensively better? Maybe I'm trying to kill this argument a little too much, but.
Maybe. I don't know. Quinn Snyder is an offensive-minded coach, so you have to give him his credit towards that, and that probably props up.
Have you heard of enabling bad behavior? It happens all the time.
Yeah. But, if I'm Trae Young, look, here, let me tell you like this. I play defense whenever I was playing basketball, college, high school, whatever.
Fresno alumni.
Fresno State alumni. I was always interested on, guarding guys and taking pride in that, and also, scoring and doing my thing on offense too. But that takes a toll on you. People talk about Travis Hunter doing, offense, defense. Hey, the best thing about football is you get to stop, start. Imagine doing that.
I used to have a T-shirt that said, "At least I don't suck up oxygen on the sidelines." My brother shredded it in front of me, cut it up. It was one of my favorite T-shirts.
That is hilarious.
It's great,
right? That is funny. And that is a funny brother-sister story because I feel like brothers will definitely do that to their sisters.
Headaches.
But, just thinking about that, doing that in basketball when you got to guard 6'9" dudes who run 4.6 40s and move laterally just as fast as they move up and down the court.
And have Peyton Pritchard's ball handling skills,
right.
Dizzy and sick.
Exactly. So, and then you got to go take that to the other end and then score and then do it again and do it again. It's a hard thing to do, which is why guys like Kawhi, which is why guys like JB and JT are so special in this league because they can go and do that on both ends at a high level. level. They will guard your best player, and then they will go at your best defender on the other end and still be supportive of their team. But not everybody can do that. We're talking about a 6'1" guard here. I mean, I'm not even worried about what he can do on the defensive end. When I can score 30 and 10 every single night and wear my, what is he, Jordan Brand now? Jordan Brand shoes every single day and style on people and glisten, and I got my own gym in Atlanta and I do this, and I'm Trae Young and I've been the man since I was 16, 15. Like,
I'm the man song made for him.
Right. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
Right. I feel like
Right.
I've seen him strutting to that one a couple times.
He can, like, I'm not worried about defense for him. If I'm a team, I'm treating him like how I treat Luka. Hey, man, go get 40 and 10, and we're good. I don't worry. We'll take care of the defense. So, I just don't think the Boston Celtics want that, though, as a part of their identity, with, once again, Jason Tatum coming back from an Achilles injury, with Jaylen Brown coming back from a surgery on his knee. Will these guys be the two-way players that they've been in the past? We don't know. So they need to get guys who fit and can do both, like Drew Holiday did for us.
All right. So considering that they probably don't need a guy like Trae Young.
Yes.
Say that they convince themselves, again, star-studded roster, drop another big name in there, four-time NBA, all the good things. What would that cost? That's where I mashed the brakes, because I was like,
okay. So the issue is, right, that he's upset because of an extension, right?
Right.
And so he has 1 year. He has this year left on his deal, and then next year is the final year.
Because when you mention Scary Terry and everyone else, we're talking about this place being attractive because we can pay them.
Right, exactly. That is true. In Boston, with JB and JT hogging up all the money, and we're ducking, waive this dude who makes $1 million, trade this dude who makes $8 million.
We're making some small ball plays
right,
here.
Just to get under the second apron. It would take trading some guys, you know what I mean? And those guys, who is it going to be? Like, you're going to have to get rid of a Pritchard. You're going to have to get rid of a Sam Hauser. You probably have to get rid of a Derek White and say, hey, we're running with the three-headed monster of Tatum and Brown and Trae Young, with guys like who fit in between, like a Luka Garza, like a Chris Boucher. Maybe we bring back a Charles Bassey, like what they talked about last episode, or if we go get a Lonnie Walker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're now trying to fit in all these veteran minimum deals around these three, and when Trae Young hasn't shown you winning basketball besides the 1 year that he made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and the 1 year that he made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, it was because Ben Simmons forgot how to play basketball that year and got the yips. I don't know what happened that playoff series, but that playoff series he just forgot, and it's been bad ever since, which we talked about also on this show. I personally am not interested in the cost and trade. I also wouldn't be interested in the cost if he came in free agency, because the reason that he's upset about the extension is because he wants to get paid.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like first and foremost, it's going to be show me the money.
Right.
And then everything else fall into place after that. This team doesn't feel like it's in that position. Now, how important would it be for point guard play for the Celtics coming up with Jason Tatum being out?
Huge. I mean, we've talked about a myriad of point guards that we would want. We wanted Damian Lillard at one point.
I think we convinced ourselves we were okay with it so much, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, as soon as you convince yourself you're good with this, we're moving on. Like, that's happened like 3 times now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just talking about Anthony Simons as well, how excited we were for his playmaking ability and able to stretch the floor and shoot the basketball. And now Trae Young is a much better facilitator than Anthony Simons or Damian Lillard. Mind you, combined. You can combine their powers. And Trae Young is a way better passer. I mean, he's probably, I don't think people give him enough credit for how great of a passer he is. I think we talk about Tyrese Halliburton being a great passer. We talk about Jokic being a great passer.
Yep.
I mean, he's right there with those guys as far as facilitating the ball goes. The thing that he does better than them, though, is he consistently shoots it at a high rate. There's been some times where he hasn't consistently shot it at a high rate. But for the most part, over the course of his NBA career, he's had Curry-level range. You know what I mean? So when you package those two things together and say, hey, Do that with a top 4 NBA player in Jason Tatum. Do that with a top 15, top 20 NBA player in Jaylen Brown. That's a scary sight for sure. It would be nice, but defensively, I don't like it, which I've talked about, and financially, I hate it.
Right. Is there a scenario where it's like, hey, I'm just pissed at the Hawks because, with all due respect, they should have already started this conversation with me, but let me go to a championship caliber team that's, I know a lot of fans don't feel like, hey, much is going to happen this upcoming season, but the margin for success isn't that far off. Or if you look big picture, you're 2-3 years out when you get a Jason Tatum back into the mix. So do you think he can, I don't want to say discount, but do you think it's more just like a pissed off at you, but this is what I want next for my career, and the Celtics could fit?
Yeah, thinking about Trae Young over the last couple of years, the Atlanta Hawks have had some down years since they made that Eastern Conference Finals a couple of years back. Trae Young, now, I don't know him personally, but, from the people that I've talked to over there in that Atlanta Hawks, organization, from the people that I know that have been around him to his agents and things like that, he seems like he's more interested in the things that basketball can provide for him than, winning is a plus, and he wants to win. Every competitor wants to win. I'm not saying that he's competitive and that he doesn't want to win. But
at this point in time, he might
it seems like he would rather get that bag than win basketball games. And then you can go win basketball games once you get the bag.
All right, yeah, he sounds too expensive for me. So we're going to move on from Trae Young and that possibility, because you said feels far-stretched. As we unpack it, it feels really far-stretched because we don't have much money to dance with. Now, is there a name bouncing around, or is there anyone that you can think of that's like, hey, this guy just wants to play ball? That shirt that you wear, that sweater that you wear,
sorry I was hooping.
I was hooping. That has that mentality. Wants to be a part of a championship caliber team. That matters more. That's the front run, and probably fits the bill of being a point guard that can come in here and make sense in the moment.
Point guard, I mean,
or we can branch out.
Yeah, I personally would love to see Lonnie Walker, and he just signed a deal with Maccabi over in the EuroLeague. So, that conversation would have to be figured out or whatever, with the contract situation and getting them over here and, buying them out essentially of that contract over there. I would love to see Lonnie Walker back in the Boston Celtics jersey. I think, when you're talking about winning pedigree, when you're talking about humility, I mean, this is a guy who clearly just wants to play in a winning situation. He loved his time here in Boston. Although short, it was amazing. He loved his opportunity that he got in the preseason to do some things with the Boston Celtics. He just never really got that shot to do it for the full team. He's a guy who came in, who learned a lot of things from a San Antonio Spurs organization, from a Lakers organization, from a 76ers organization, to even being here in Boston. I mean, these are all franchises that we talk about with this glimmering light because they've done a lot of great things over the course of their history. They've won, they've lost, they've had great days, bad days, but guarantee you they know how to build good culture because they've seen bad culture as well at times.
Right.
So this is a guy who's learned from that that lifestyle, because when you come in and you're this guy who's just as athletic as he is, just as highly touted as he was, and the league kind of kicks you down unless you're not that great, you humble yourself a little bit, you strap up your boots, and you get to work. And I feel like he's been doing that, and I feel like the Boston Celtics would be a great place for him to continue to learn and progress through his career.
Maybe we'll see if he's liking any social posts that can lead us down a trail or rabbit hole of something. Kind of circling back to the social media posts, though, and liking of that, I feel like players are getting a little bit more brazen to throw hints out there. You know what I mean? And some of them have actually come to fruition. So have you seen any breadcrumbs throughout the socials that either worked out, turned into a trade that we were like, shit, this really happened, or that we kind of want to manifest?
That's a good question. I would say, it doesn't typically work out like that. Usually, if a player's liking things like that, if they were to get traded to that team or whatever, it's usually pretty well known. Like they would come out and be loud about like, hey, this is where I want to be. You know what I mean? Hey, this is where I want to be, you know.
We know stronger interests.
Right, you know, like it was pretty clear that, you know, KD wanted to end up in Houston, you know what I mean? And then he ended up in Houston. So, and even when he went to the Suns, it was very clear that he wanted to go there. So, you know, I think players are, you know, they don't need to like stuff on Twitter to get people's
To
ears
let everybody
perked up.
know.
They can tell, they will go out and say it. And, you know, at this point, hasn't been any poor repercussions to doing that recently. So why not?
All right, why not? Well, we'll see if there's any subtlety to these guys letting us know where they want to end up.